Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, a few weeks ago, Olight got in touch and said the magic combination of words. New release, Olight OClip Pro S. I was like, yeah, cool, what do you need me to do? If you've been around Moorlander EDC for anything more than a few weeks, probably, you'll know how much I'm a huge fan of the OClip family. Not only are they just perfect for EDC and pocketable and just, you know, being a decent little EDC light, but the clip on there adds so much more to them. So I've had the original OClip, I've had the OClip Pro, I've had the OClip Ultra, and now this is a new one called the OClip Pro S, which adds some RGB into the elements. Yeah, right, let's turn the camera around and take a closer look. Now Olight were good enough to send me two different versions of it. Here is one in orange and this one is black with some nice Gucci gold trim on there, which is really nice. Now you might be wondering how these compare with some other similar lights. So if you'll just wait a second whilst I reach down here, we have some other similar lights, and these are all from Olight. So we have here the original OClip, which you'll be able to see. So the OClip, which is this one, is still quite a bit smaller, which, you know, it is what it is. These are awesome wee little lights. With this being the OClip Pro S, the size itself is more similar to the OClip Pro. So here is the OClip Pro. In fact, let's put down the original OClip there for a second. So here is the OClip Pro, here is the OClip Pro S, and they're both identical, they're both exactly the same size. So as far as the size of this comes in, it's 57mm by 27mm by 27.8mm. They're both really nice and light, come in around about 53 grams. In fact, if I put, here's the other one. So there we've got the OClip and the OClip Pro and the OClip Pro S. Again, let's get the Ultra out for a second. You can see that they're all pretty much same as of a sameness. The weight on these, the same. They all have a similar battery in here. So with the OClip Pro S's, these have a 580 milliamp hour battery in here, which is great. The maximum output on these, on its turbo setting, is 600 lumens, so it's not massive, but for EDC, it's just enough. You don't really need more than that for the type of use that you would use these for. Now I can also compare it here to the Ultra. With the Ultra, it is slightly larger, and with the Ultra, hopefully you can see it's ever so slightly boxy here on these corners. I actually prefer the aesthetic of the OClip Pros, mainly because, working in graphic design, this circumference here on this corner, or at least the radius of the circumference there, apologies for going out of focus there, is the same as this radius here, whereas with the Ultra you've got this radius here and this one doesn't match it, which for me it kind of makes my OCDs tingle. But yeah, so that's it compared to all of these. Now let's put this one down for a second. Let's just compare kind of apples with apples here. The clips, pretty much exactly the same as far as the tension with each of these, it's the same. We do have a helicopter flying over at the moment, so apologies if you can hear that. It does look like there is a little bit more of a mouth with this one. If you can see, it just sits away from it ever so slightly more, but I don't think it's a massive difference. Charging the OClip Pro S is exactly the same as charging the OClip Pro. You have a USB port here on the side, so you can fit your USB into it and charge it away. Charging, because it's only a 580 milliamp hour battery, charging on these doesn't take long at all. It takes like an hour or so just to get everything charged, and then you're good to go for the day. What you'll hopefully notice with all of these, both of these, is they have an array of lights here on the front. So the original OClip Pro has a white light, a red light and a UV light. with the OClip Pro S, if I bring this one back in again, so it does have 5 different light sources on here, and they're all done through the same switch here on the side. So this is a switch and a button. So at the moment we're on RGB, here we're on RGB, that is on white light, and now we're on UV light. So just changing this dial around the outside allows you to change between the different functions. It's the same here, you can just kind of move these around. With the OClip Pro S, it's kind of painted on there, so these are small decals that show where each of the different options are, whereas with the OClip Pro Ultra, these are actually these are ground into it. It's probably laser etched. I don't think it's actually ground. I don't think anyone grinds things in nowadays, but these are laser etched into there. Again, another subtle difference, similar with the OClip Pro here. This one has UV. Actually, no. Does this one have UV? No. So this one has a floodlight, a spotlight, and a red light. This one doesn't have UV. Whereas the OClip Pro S, this one has UV, white light, and RGB. Now using this is actually really easy. So let's put this one down for a second. So it's a simple on and off. Oh, we were on the low mode, that's why. When it's off, you can do a long press, and that will put it into its ultralight moonlight mode. You can do a long press. We've got low, medium, high, and then it'll cycle back around to low. Whilst it's on the white light, if you do a double press, this will take it onto its turbo mode. And then if you do a triple press, then that will have you onto its strobe mode. If I move this forward, this little dial forward, so that we're now on UV, turn it on, we're now on the UV mode. Now with UV, you have two options. So there's this lower mode, which you might just see reflecting on my hand. So if you need to check like a banknote, you can hold a banknote in your hand. You'll be able to check that. If you're doing some sort of room inspections and you need to check if there's, I don't know, blood splatter, whatever it is, then you can do a long press and it will turn it up into a higher mode, so that you can see more around you. Now the big difference with this is your RGB here on the end. So click will turn it on. Actually, I'm on super fancy at the moment. So a click will turn it on, a click will turn it off. When it's on, each of the red, green and blues has its own light intensity. So if you can see, we were on low, now we're on high. Long press will then turn it back around to low. If I do a double press, this will then change. So we're now on the low of the green, long press will put it onto its high. If I do a double press, we're now on the blue mode. Because we were already on high, it's changed it over to blue on high. But if I do a long press, it will now drop that down to its low mode. Now I can do another double press and it will change it back around to red. What you might be wondering is, I wonder if it's got a super funky disco mode, and it does. To do the super funky disco mode, you do a triple press, 1, 2, 3. So now you can see we're going through red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue. Now, the best thing to do is, if you were to pick up 2 of these, is you can time them separately so that when you get them on, you can have a little bit of a funky disco mode. Yeah, I'm that sad that probably I want to go into the woods and have a little bit of a funky disco mode with this, but they're my woods, so sue me. Anyway, and that's pretty much it. The biggest thing on here really is this clip. You can clip it to pretty much most things. A lot of lights feel like they're lights that somebody just went, oh, we should probably add a clip to this, and it's it doesn't. Does it work? Doesn't it work? Yeah, kind of. With these, they really do feel like this was designed to be an OClip light. It's a light with a clip on it, and they wanted to make a robust clip. And this whole family of lights. So there's the OClip. Here are the OClip Pro S and a bit of mud. Here's the OClip Pro Stealth version. Here's the OClip Pro Ultra. As a family of lights, the clip, I mean, the light is the best thing about it. You know, they all light up and you can see what you need to do, but the clip is really what makes these shine and why these are invaluable when it comes to everyday use. Now, let's fast forward, let's go down to the fishing pond and let's see exactly how these work in the dark. If you're enjoying the content today and you'd like to support my channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. If you do choose to do that, I'd like to say a huge thank you and welcome on board into the Moorlander community. Now back to today's content. Well, the sun is officially down, it's just gone past midnight, but again, it's another reasonably light night tonight. So some of these settings may not look as bright as they would do maybe if I was in a completely pitch black room, but starting on its moonlight mode from off, if I do a long press, this will put it onto 1 lumen. Again, you know, if this was a completely pitch black room, this would appear to be a lot lighter, but because it's a reasonably light night tonight, yeah, it's not, but does a very good job. Now from its moonlight mode, I can do a long press, which will take us to its low mode. Now you can see a little bit off into the distance. I can probably see, say, 5 or 6 meters ahead of me, but here, just holding this down, does a good job. Now low goes from 1 lumen on its moonlight mode to 10 lumens. I can do another long press. This will take me up to the medium mode. So with medium, it jumps from 10 lumens all the way up to 100 lumens, and now you can see into the distance a lot further. And here is that tree that we often have a look at with 100 lumens. It's a lot easier to see. You can just see the ones on the opposite side of the lake pond, but if I take this down, you can still kind of see them anyway because it's reasonably light. Now I'm going to hold this in front, so you can see that there is a warm spot, not particularly defined, but with the TIR lens that this has, it's not going to be particularly defined anyway. 45 degrees to the left, 45 degrees to the right, so you can see around the spill area here. Again, it's reasonably defined, but I wouldn't say it's super defined. But then for this type of light, really, it's not meant to be a super defined light. This is just something that's meant to throw. It's meant to be more of a floodlight so that you can just see whatever it is that you need to be able to see in front of you. Now I can do another long press. This will take us up. So let's go back here. So this has now gone up to 300 lumens, which is its high mode. If I do a long press again, it's going to take us back down too low, which makes it very difficult to see that tree. But what I can do instead is if I do a double press whilst it's on, now I'm on its turbo mode, which is its 600 lumens. So let's go back around again. So there, let's just make sure. In fact, now we're on moonlight, low, medium, high, double press, now we're on turbo. Yeah, so there you go. Now there were also those RGB. Now let's put this on to UV. So with the UV, you have the lower end of the UV. Hopefully you can see my foot there. If I do it, so it just cranks up the levels with that. Is there any kind of funky anything we can see around here? No, we can't. My foot's probably the best thing to see, although it does make the water look very strange and murky. Now we'll go around and have a look through the RGB modes. So red light on its lowest, this is 4 lumens. I do a long press and this goes up to 40 lumens. With the double press, with the green, so let's put this down on its low. On its lowest mode, this is 10 lumens. Then I can do a long press. This bumps it up to 60 lumens. So red light is very good if you want to protect your night vision. Green light is also good for hunting. It's a spectrum that certain animals can't see. So it is useful if you do need to use this whilst out hunting, I guess. Another long press, this turns it on to its blue. Now let's go back down again. So blue on its lowest mode, this is 3 lumens, and then on its highest mode, this is 15. Blue's different. I mean, all of the different light spectrums, they're all different in the way in which the light works. but you can, hopefully you can see that with blue it needs less lumens to be able to kind of lighten things up. And then again, oh, so it's triple press, and now we can put it onto the funky disco mode. Now it did bring out both of them. So is this one on it? Yeah, it's still on it from earlier when I had it on there. So there's both of them on, shining the light onto the floor there. It's a silly mode, but I do like these lights. I know I've mentioned they're great to clip onto things and all that sort of stuff, but they're also really nice to give kids. If you're concerned about walking around, you can clip these onto a child and just walk around with them, and you know they can be seen, other people can see them. So yeah, there's plenty of reasons why I like these lights, but I think this new RGB version that's on here, I think it's a nice addition as well. So there you have it. I'm generally just a massive fan of these. Go back and watch my other pieces of content on the original OClip, the OClip Pro, the OClip Ultra. You'll see how much I just genuinely really like these. From the form factor, it's a small 90-degree angle light. I've always been a fan of 90-degree angle lights anyway, but adding the clip onto these, the OClip is the best clip light, hands down. How do I know this? Because every other manufacturer has copied Olight with these clips. It's not a light that somebody went, oh, we could throw a clip onto that and it would make sense, kind of thing. It's a clip that somebody went, we should put a light on this, it would make sense. They're just so useful. From just, you know, put it on whatever it is. You're out walking, put it on your hat, or maybe, I don't know, you're painting some models, put it on your hat so you can add some light to it. Or you're out walking the dogs, you just clip one of these onto yourself, you're out, you're walking, they're great. Yeah, I'm not going to glaze too much because, again, if you've watched any of my previous content on these small lights, apart from maybe the Baton 3 Pro, which I've carried the most, these lights are the ones that I carry. These are the ones that I always have clipped to a bag. I've even got one of these in my car in the glove box, just in case kind of thing. Super useful. Now, full disclosure, I did mention this at the beginning. These were sent to me by Olight. I have the same relationship that I have with Olight, I have with all the other manufacturers. Everybody just asks, or at least I say, I'm just going to make some honest content on these, and hopefully that's what you've got here today. There is a sale currently on with these. It's Olight, and you know, the sun's in the sky, so there's probably going to be a sale on these. I'll leave some links below. They are affiliate links, so if you do click on one of those and you do choose to purchase one with one of my links, it's no extra cost to you. I get a small kickback, and it just allows my channel to make content like this, and bags and caps and shirts. It's how YouTubers like myself, you know, we help to fund our channel. So those links will be below. A huge a huge shout out and thank you to Olight for sending these my way. They knew what they were doing. They know exactly how much I like these lights. I'll leave those links below. I'll leave some of my social media links below so you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC, and my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical, where I look at more kind of everyday tactical stuff. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Hi, I'm the Moorlander. Oh, now I've got something in my ear. For frick's sake. Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander. This is Moorlander with a throg in my throat. Let's just make sure. Tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, tickle. Anyway. On the inside you get the light, you get the instructions, and you also get a USB-C cable for charging as well. Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this, and an itchy neck. What the hell is up with me today? And an ear. Clip it in, clip it in. Actually, that would probably be the worst setup, because these are right above. I'll tell you what. If you ever want to like go to. Have they just synced up? No, I thought they synced up. Clearly I turned them on at the right same time. I feel like, remember that film, The Lawnmower Man, where they flash stuff in his eyes and he goes a bit mental and like, I'm 3D! I'm the future of VR! Yeah. Do this in the woods at night after a few pints. Or go back to 2000 and find yourself some Mitsubishis. If you get that reference, you were naughty in the 2000s and we should be friends. Ooh, that's making me feel a bit dizzy. Right then, I think that's me for the day, folks. This is Sunday. This is Sunday content because the video is going out when the sale starts. Well, I think the sale will have started a day or two before. See you soon. Love you lots. Bye.